My name is Noah Page, and this is day 19 of convincing you that my fantasy world is cooler than anything that AI could ever generate. Today we're talking about religion, and specifically we're talking about some of the difficulties and the nuances that accompany writing religion into a fantasy setting. Now, I personally am a God-fearing man, and I believe that faith is a critical aspect of the human condition. And when I say faith, I don't necessarily mean as it pertains to any specific belief system, or even necessarily the lack of a belief system. But I do believe that a unifying aspect of being human is not knowing with any level of true certainty what our origin or purpose is. And a lot of the times in fantasy, you will see things like a magic system being used as evidence for the divine, even just implicitly. My magic system is derived from divine beings that exist outside of the scope of my story, which is really super cool and it's fun. But then, I have to ask myself, what does me acknowledging this as the author do to my characters and their feelings of faith and doubt? If I'm ever writing a scene where one of my protagonists is really struggling at a critical point and they look to the stars for help, but I, as the author, have already acknowledged that there is something up there, then it becomes a really nuanced game of how much I want to reveal about these beings. And if you have a centralized, perfect, omniscient being, like God, how much I want to reveal about him. And I guess I'm not even ascribing a solution to this, if there is one to be found. I'm just constantly thinking about this whenever I'm really ever writing, because I'm dealing with things like good and evil and the divine. And it's just a very, very nuanced question that I need to ask myself every time I am dealing with my characters going through some level of plight. But that's it. That's what we're talking about today, or it's what we did talk about today. I have a book. Go read it. Go team.